Yeah, Renee, welcome back to the 1980 project. Just wanted to jump in real quick and talk about something I thought about last night. Um, I was watching on Netflix, I think it was Netflix, series about some of the players who, in all different sports, who had either died or got traded or um, retired, maybe too early, things like that. Um, and and it started making me think about this alternate divergent 1980 project that I could take the 1980 project and kind of go off on a divergence. So so that's where I'm headed. Is like each week I'm going to kind of work with AI to look at the transactions that were made that week and decide if they stick or not, and create doing a lot of API string scraping and things like that to try and figure out, or even the rumors back in 1980. Like for instance, one was Michael Ray Richardson on the Knicks. A lot of trade talk about Richardson. Would he stay? Would he not? And so impact here is looking at how my 1980 79-80 replay is going with the Knicks, who happen to be in last place. Do they make that move of Richardson based on where they're at in my replay? Because it may be different than where they actually ended up in 1980. So working through those little kinks of it. Right now, I just as kind of where I decided to go with Richardson for now. In this exact case was looking at the 1980 NBA draft. It's all big men for the most part. There are a couple of shooting guards and Griffith and a couple others. But there are really no point guards. And Michael Ray is leading the league in assists and is killing it. So does he bring a big value? Sure does. But would the Knicks want to give away a cornerstone like that right now or build upon him? And my decision for now was to build upon him and see where that goes. So sometimes I may stick with their decision. Sometimes I may float away from it. As you notice, I've got the NFL draft up, and that's going to be a big one because now I didn't replay 1979 NFL, just the playoffs, which ended up right now is still the Steelers and the Rams in the Super Bowl. If the Rams were to win, Vince Ferragamo now has a completely different legacy in LA. So what happens there? If the Steelers were to lose, what happens there? Do they make a different move than maybe they made because they lost? So I'm looking at that, and then just also looking at, there are 4 future Hall of Famers in this draft. I don't know if I'm going to mix it up too much. It's easy to redo a draft and say these are the first 4 guys who should go, right? I don't know where I'm going to go with the draft yet. I got time to figure that out. But maybe some trades happen where I try and get teams situated a little bit better for 1980 than they did for themselves. It's all fun, right? Same thing with all the other sports. You're looking at NHL, looking at college basketball. Do guys come out earlier? Do they stay longer? Based on their production from the 79-80 replay, do they get drafted higher or lower? So looking at little things like that to divergent things, and then looking at off-season things, looking at all the transactions, like with baseball. This week I think there was a Tom Cambiati signed with the Royals or something, and do I let that go, or do I think the Royals should have made a different decision? Would he have been a better fit somewhere else? So I'm going that deep into the transaction registers with AI's help and seeing where I can go with all this stuff. So just wanted to give an update on where it's going. I didn't want to just do a boring 1980 replay of everything. I wanted to put in some tweaks to it, make it my own, to make it divergent, make it exciting. Of course, all I'm doing is adding more work for myself because they, the ChatGPT's help, although it's not a storage facility. With its help, though, trying to maintain the different divergent universes will be interesting. So, because I'm going to have to, I decide to like trade Michael Ray Richardson, I have to make the move in the software or whatever stack keep rotating and on the teams itself. And now we're in a whole different world. So, and then I got to have that ready for the team replay when they start in September with basketball in October. So anyway, excuse me. I do have a couple of big things I am planning, especially with the Olympics. I'm not going to divulge that just yet, but I am replaying all the Olympics from the winter and summer. Obviously, the winter is the one I'm looking forward to. But I'm throwing a couple of wrenches into that, and that should be fun. And rather than just replay it, I mean, again, I'm not here to do replicas, I'm here to do replays. So I'm going to throw a couple of twists into that. That should be fun. And then I'm looking to put some twists into these, especially NBA and NHL seasons. Teams are going to come down to the wire. The trade deadline's coming up. I think it's like March 11th. So I think I have a while for NHL. I'm not sure about the NBA trade deadline. But, going to make some moves on these teams that maybe they didn't make. See if I can make a difference for getting somebody into the playoffs or a bigger contender than they were. Looking forward to all this. If you guys have ideas, thoughts, things that can even make it more interesting, let me know in the comments below. All right, thanks a lot.